Hey there, Ray Higdon here. I get a lot of testimonials for my sales trainings and when I'm working with leaders. I don't always share them all, but this one I thought was really special. In this video, you're going to see one of my clients, Samara. Samara was 13 years as a waitress. She got let go during the pandemic, and I started working with her in 2024. And 2025 was her first $1 million year. The highlight actually is this lady, Steph. And Steph was making 0 to 1 sales a month. And she talks about how last month she made 5, this month she made 7, and she's actually in a high ticket product. Her product is thousands of dollars. So that's really substantial. And she went from $25,000 for the year to well over $100,000 for the next year. Stay tuned. Watch this video. I think it's pretty cool.
Yeah, specifics definitely changed out some verbiage, just like the way I say things. Definitely also an energy thing. Something Ray said on this was like quite a while ago before this container, but something he said, and it's always stuck with me. I had a big hang up around the $99 and like paying for information, quote unquote. And he said, he was like, people pay for information all the time. Like $99 is nothing. And that was just like that clicked. And so ever since then, it's a different energy that I bring. This is nothing. $99 to access the type of training and mentorship that we provide and the life-changing information that is solely inside of the discovery process. Like that was a big switch for me. Just remaining postured, remaining as the prize. And just like his analogies, all of his stories that he provides around, like when you don't have posture, rely on position. And just like it's clicked so much for me. I've definitely improved the way I speak to people, and it shows in the signups I've been getting. I went from getting like 0 to 1 every like couple months to getting like, it's been several months in a row getting like 2 to 4. And this month I'm up to 7. And last month was 5. And yeah. So, and then obviously
Nice.
sales that come from that too. So it's been a really rapid progression over the last year in my business. And it has definitely stemmed a lot from the training that you have provided. So huge thank you to you and
Awesome.
for showing up for this community.
She just had her first six-figure year in
Ooh,
2025, but get this, you guys.
nice.
So she made $120,000 with Enagic as a stay-home homeschool mom. No big deal, only like quadrupled or whatever her teaching income when she was like working full time.
Nice.
But the cooler part is in that 2024, she made $25,000.
Wow.
Guys, she owned
Wow.
5 times her income from 2024 to
Wow.
2025. So if you were sitting here, you made 3 grand last year, or you've made it.
So if you'd like to learn more about how I can help increase the performance of you or your team, go to higdongroup.com/coaching. Thanks for watching.